With a career that has spanned 6 decades, Oscar-winning actress Shirley MacLaine, she doesn't want to be called this.
But she
can't help it.
is.
What is she, Hoda? You say.
She's an icon and she's a legend.
But don't call her that.
We won't. Despite all the fabulous films she's made, from Sweet Charity to Terms of Endearment to Steel Magnolias, one of her most memorable movie sets might just be her most recent.
And Shirley tells us why in her new book, Above the Line, My Wild Oats Adventure.
How about that in stereo, Shirley?
Yeah, baby. How are you? First of all, we love having you come back and see us.
I'm good. I'm very good. I'm happy. Love my life. Yeah. Looking at all the otherness much more seriously. Yeah. I'm just loving the metaphysical trip I'm on, the truth of it all.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. It is so much fun to look back on what you might have done or who you might have been.
Doesn't it get confusing? I mean,
hell, but isn't
how many past lives do you think you've had?
Oh, I don't know, for God's sake. Millions and millions of years worth. But I have an explanation that I can kind of do short, like an elevator speech of.
Yeah, okay. I'd like to hear.
When you get to be 82, you have the short-term memory kind of, okay, that's a problem. But a longer-term memory, you know how you remember. Now I'm remembering not only everything that happened in my childhood, but other lifetime childhoods. So I'm getting...
That's a lot.
No, really. And I'm getting a sense, truly, of having been and lived and I understand the other lifetimes because now it's coming up in my conscious mind.
The Canary Islands is a specific spot that really rings a bell with you.
And not because everything went beautifully on it. Everything sort of went wrong, didn't it?
On making the movie, it's pretty hysterical.
And how many years ago was that? What year did you make this film?
2 summers ago. And I didn't realize we were shooting on the Canary Islands, which had a new rebate. And so everything shoots now because you can get the rebate and help with the budget. I got on the Iberian Airlines, and it said the only airline that flies to the lost continent of Atlantis. I thought, well, this is meant to happen.
This is your kind of thing.
Why is that?
Because everybody, told me not to go. The money isn't anywhere. You're not going to get money. And suddenly, when I was there, of course, you don't do stuff for money anymore, if you're me. But don't tell anybody that. I realized I was making this film to remember some of my lifetimes in Atlantis.
Wow.
And tell us a little bit about the circumstances. Two fine actresses were already on board. None of the men had been cast yet, right? So wasn't this like a super leap of faith? Wasn't your agent saying, Shirley, don't go, don't do this?
Everybody said it. Even a couple of psychics said, don't go unless the money's in the bank. But Jessica said, oh, what the hell? Let's go drink campaninas on the beach. And if we have no money, so what? We had a good time.
So what was the disaster part of shooting the movie?
All of it, Hoda.
But what parts?
I mean, they would call up and say, don't even bother getting up in the hotel. We haven't got money to pay the cab drivers today, so we're not going to shoot.
Wow.
It was like that. Listen, it got to be so funny, and it's pretty funny in the book.
It is kind of funny because you are all really, it's Demi Moore, it's Jessica Lange, and who are the men? I forget.
But when you get Billy Connolly and Harold Hessman.
I don't know him, but Billy Connolly's hysterical.
Hysterical.
You're right.
Yeah.
And he just made it even funnier. I mean, I had hernias from laughing so hard. We would be doing a scene, I think, and the money would run out again. And I would start, laughing in the middle of the scene, which is only costing money because that celluloid does take a couple of dollars. And I think the sound guy measured, I laughed 11 minutes while they just kept rolling and I couldn't stop.
You know what's funny, Shirley? I was looking, this sounds weird, I was looking at an old CBS Sunday Morning piece, and they were talking about people who were understudies who broke through and had these huge careers. And the first person that they talked about was you. And it talked about how the person who you were filling in for had a broken ankle, and somebody saw you, sprained ankle, and somebody, it showed the chronicling of your career and how it could happen by such one instant where someone happens to see you and the world changes.
When you were doing Sweet Charity?
No,
what was it?
It was a long time before that. It was 1954. I had never had a rehearsal. Bobby Fosse and Jerry Robbins made me the understudy to the great Carol Haney. And she went down in the middle of the show with a sprained ankle, not a broken. And I went on with no rehearsal. All I could think of was I'm going to drop the hat and steam heat, which I did. in front of the audience, and nobody told me not to say that.
And you just did it for several million people. Thank you very much. We'll fix that in post.
And I'm still saying it. But no, I've been guided all my life.
Yeah.
I really feel. I really
Yeah.
feel I have angels, and I mean, some that are very hard-nosed. You better get to this and do it.
Yeah.
And I do it. I'm very disciplined.
Wow.
You
But
are
that
sweetheart. We
shoot-
love having
Yeah.
you here.
That shoot with the whole memory of Atlanta.
It's very funny the way
Yeah.
you tell the story. And you're always just one of our favorite ladies. You know that.
Shirley, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Beige faces.
Beige
Wonderful.
faces. You like them or don't?
Love them. Wish I could do it. Can't afford it.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.